Alboni Darts is the name in darts for Central Massachusetts and beyond. From dart sets and boards to accessories and apparel, they're the one-stop shop for any player looking to stock up or upgrade. Whether you're stepping up to the line for the first time or competing for trophies and checks, the Alboni Darts is the store that the champion selects.
But Joe will be leading off again. Joe higher in the standings. A little bit more luck here, more success in Season 3. But I guess he has shown his struggles the past couple of weeks. He certainly played some fantastic darts, has a night win under his belt, but pretty hot and cold here from Joe Ricard. When he's hot, he's smoking. But when he's cold, man, we can see it in 1080p, 60 frames per second. Berto leading off with another strong start here, 100 fired in. Last week, I believe his first 3 darts was a 180. Was to lead off against Tom Curtin, so looking to continue this trend of strong starts. Joe Ricard looking to immediately answer back with a ton of his own. Solid stuff there. Both guys looking to start their march down to the out chart in a hurry. Again, if you are just tuning in and missed the opening commentary from myself, Berto, working with some soft tippers here, was actually throwing a completely different set of darts last week. Unfortunately, he did leave his own personal set at home. He forgot to bring them. Happens to the best of us. Happened to Nick the week earlier, I think week 2. But they were flying so well for him that he actually decided to make a change and purchase the same set because he liked them that much. And man, they were flying real nice. Had some trouble on the doubles, but that's to be that's to be expected when you have a new set of darts. But the scoring's good. The doubles will come if you just give it enough time and enough practice on the board at home. Joe firing in a 98, so really cutting into that 302. Big bites, big chunks. Right on the edge of outshot territory here. 332 for Berto. Good correction. Wants to drop it a little lower. Can't quite find it. Goes a little higher instead, so only finding that 45. So while he's not too far behind here, advantage Joe Ricard in the opening leg here. 184 remaining. Would love to have a triple. Still plenty of space to try and go over the top, and he goes a little too high over the fence. Actually just recently watched the movie Over the Hedge again after a lot of years, and well, Joe certainly went well over that hedge there. Berto trying to find the middle, just can't quite do it, so he's still stuck in no man's land. Joe Ricard, a very favorable 144 here. Plenty of time, no pressure put on him from Berto Santos, so just more or less lining it up if he doesn't find those darts. Looks like it does squeak into the 5 segment there, so good correction. But not the setup that Joe might have been looking to leave on the board here. 84 punched in, so good correction. Will leave himself 60. Berto all the way back at 227. Can only hope to hit big and pray that Joe misses on the next round. Berto trying to find his way into that triple 20 segment. He does very well to do so. But again, Joe Ricard has been so reliable on double 20 this season. It's almost been astounding how reliable this upper double has been. Wants to bring it a little lower, and there it is. Proof in the pudding. A little nod of the head there from Berto Santos. That first 60 challenge has been taken out by Joe Ricard. Again, holding his throw, so now Berto will have the expected advantage here in this second leg. For everybody who did not tune in last week, we have gone back to the shorter format that we ran all of Season 2. We were experimenting in the first 2 weeks with a longer format where it was best of 5 sets, so first to 3 sets. That was going a little too long and actually shot up the match length of all of our games by about half an hour when everyone's getting home at about midnight on a Monday night. That's it's pretty brutal, folks. So we've gone back to the shorter format, more drama, more closer games, more close action, and certainly a lot more surprises. It's better for everybody. Certainly better for the viewers at home. If you guys are enjoying the content here on the cold and chilly Monday night that we have in Worcester, certainly drop a comment. Would love to hear what you guys have to say, and just thank you guys for being here and tuning in. Solid darts here from both guys with that 85 there from Joe. Berto Solid leadoff here in those first two visits, all the way down to 301. Fortunately, caster curse here I will be hexing Berto again every time I open my mouth and I see how well these guys are shooting. It seems like, unfortunately, just the wrong time to, well, I guess share my opinions on the state of the game. But, that's how it is. We can always blame the casters. The players never do wrong. It's always the caster's fault. Berto looking to really try and not let this advantage slip away here. Again, game management is so important. You don't want to be finding these 1s and 5s when you have a solid lead already down the board. It might be a 45, might be a 30. Indeed it is. So scary territory here from Berto. 2 back-to-back poor visits. Joe only 100 points down, and we know that he can certainly catch back up. There's that triple found. Wants to drop it in the big 140 to leapfrog Berto. So punishing Berto for 2 poor visits in a row. So now Berto really having to put the pressure on himself to try and find this red bid. Should be a good guide. Unfortunately goes just to the left there, and that third dart just low. So all over it. Berto dropping down to 194. So Joe certainly within range to leave himself something comfortable here. Might be a blocker. He is going downstairs down to those 19s, but misses it big time. Hits the big 3. Leaving himself a bogey number, 166. So pressure off Berto here, but he'll do well to leave himself handy if he can find a trip or 2 here. Would love to have another one. Is going to stay there. Does find the big 140. Solid darts there from Berto Santos. Big 125 there to leave himself 69. We have a 69 on the board, folks. If you know Justin Burke, he will shout that out every single time it's left on the board. I know from experience. Unfortunately there from Joe Ricard, not able to get anything really reasonable. Still at a ton plus. The 124 is handy, but Berto 69 finds the 1950 left. Tried to go for the double pull finish. The choices, I'm not sure, are the best, but that would have been a showstopper of a take. Again, he didn't miss by much, folks, but yeah, 50 left. Certainly 18 to double 16 or 10 to tops is the preferred way to go. Got to admire the cojones, got to admire the root, but with a player like Joe Ricard, this is certainly still within the wheelhouse. Unfortunately, won't go. It's in the arsenal, but not able to get it out of the armory here. So chance of redemption. Berto, double 5 now, wants to go upstairs. Does find it with that second dart, so pretty scary potential there, missing that big double bull for the showstopper finish, but does eventually find his way out of the leg. So both guys holding throw. Who's going to find that critical break? Because if things continue to go the way of Joe Ricard in this set, it will naturally be put in the ledger books here for Joe Ricard if he wins every single time he holds. Good answer here from Berto. Unfortunately, that third dart. Caster curse again, strikes. Open my mouth and it happens to find its way into the 5 segment. So unlucky. Sorry, Berto. Joe looking to try and get around that dart. We'll go downstairs. Does find that big trip 19, so that's a great adjustment, great switch. And maybe the only criticism of Joe's style of play is he does like to barge through those 20s every time he blocks off that triple 20 bed. He looks to push through, kind of like how Berto's doing here with the solid 140 to answer. Looks like Joe's electing to go down to the switch, down to the 19s a little bit more often. Finds the big 18 here. Solid setup. Are we going to see the big round of... Oh, not sure where that one actually went. Can't quite see past the flights, but still a monster of a take there. A monster of a hit from Joe Ricard. 168 leaves himself 136. So spectacular math on display here from Joe Ricard. Berto looking to try and keep up. Needs to find at least one triple and can't quite do it. Only finding the 41. Joe, trip 20, double 8 would be the preferred way to go here. Fortunately, cannot find it. Will stay there, though. That really was some spectacular math on display there from Joe Ricard, leaving himself 136, because even then, if you don't hit the big trip 20, you can just stay on it. Unfortunately, a little bit of sloppiness there from the second or third dart from Joe. Berto looking to try and catch back up. Fires in a 100, leave himself 135. So pressure on here. Joe Ricard can't quite get comfortable. 135 in the wheelhouse of Berto. We'll be staring him down. 91, trip 17 first. Won't go here. Finds the correction to leave himself. Oh, not sure if he was trying to go for the... Again, bad caster math again. We're getting going here. We're getting going here, folks. Unfortunately, Berto will not find the single bull. To get this combination going, can only try and set up. Does find the big 49. So making his way down the board, but again, Joe Ricard leaving himself 40. A trusted double, a trusted friend. How many darts is it going to take? First one expended. Second one is found. So again,
since 2014, U.S. Sports and Apparel has been helping teams, companies, and organizations look their best. From embroidered polos to customized uniforms and fan gear, they have the expertise and the people to do it all. Their catalog includes spiritwear, athletic equipment, and promotional items. From mugs and golf balls to jackets and hoodies, everything is branded to your specifications. For gear that works as hard as you do, trust in U.S. Sports and Apparel to get the job done right.
Solid reliability on that upper double there for Joe Ricard. Berto held his throw last time. Will look to hold here again. The set is all of a sudden in potential jeopardy if Berto wants to try and come out swinging. Can't quite make the adjustment down. Does find the big 3 darts in that 20 segment, so 60 is still a good leadoff. A lot of these guys would love to hit 20 every single time. As they look to race down the scoreboard here. Unfortunate deflection there for Joe. Still going to try and go over again. Can't quite see it because of the camera angle. But it does look dicey sometimes there for Joe Ricard with all those flights in the way. Just loves to try and push his way through to that red segment. And Berto, small corrections needed, but a big correction taken. Very fortunate there to find his way into the 18s. So Joe looking to try and recover after a pretty slow round. Does get off to a heater of a start here. Second dart just a little wild, and the third dart again. So the second dart just not quite getting the memo, but the big 125 will put pressure back on Berto. That might be a tough block there for Berto. 2 just above it looks like. Oh my goodness. I don't think he, oh no, only 60 punched in, so practically on the edge within a millimeter of finding a big ton 40, or even a 180, but darts are flying well for Berto if those are the types of corrections that he needs, and Joe with the big 140 to answer, so Joe running away with it here. Berto in desperate need of a big visit. Great first dart. Looking to go back up. Unfortunately, only able to find that 85. So Joe, 195, no take here. Can only set up. But still, looking like he's going to buy himself 3 darts to try and set up if he can't give himself something great here. Does find the 57. So 243 for Berto compared to the 138. Berto looking for at least 100 points here, maybe more. Second dart slipping out into the outside area. Does find the big 85. Great third dart there from Berto. But now Joe is confirmed. I guess he's not confirmed here because 158 is still within the realm of possibility. But wait a minute. First dart found in this combo. 78 left. Just high on that second dart. My goodness, that would have left him double 12. But electing to leave himself 42. My math serves correct. Indeed it is. Hey, we got one right tonight, folks. All right. I'll have to put that feather in my hat. Walk away with that. Fortunately, the 158 will not go, but the 100 is great pressure there. Joe may be smirking a little bit knowing that the math was not right. We'll have to expend a dart here, correcting this 42. He loves double 20, so electing to go for double 16. Try something new. Pulls it well inside. And he pulls it outside on that third dart, so a chance for Berto here to tie up the set and force it to go all the way. Pressure on Berto, needs the correction. Finds the 18, 2 darts at double 20. And the take is there. Clinical 2-dart take there from Berto Santos. So a critical math error there from Joe Ricard, not leaving himself with something handy. Chose to try double 16, but gets punished for it, excuse me. So Joe will throw for the set here and is leading off with something heavy. Does find the big 140 to get off the line. Great darts. Berto under pressure to immediately answer. First dart, certainly a soul crusher there. 2 darts, not working well. Only finds the 24, it looks like. So advantage for Joe Ricard. He just needs to keep it going. Don't slow down. Great first dart. Can he hold the line? Still looks good. Still a good guide. And unfortunately, it looks like the flights had something to say there. So finding that deflection, but 280 to 477. Berto, desperate need of a ton 40 or even a ton 80. Not able to find that triple. Is hunting for it, but can't quite get it. Goes high. So Joe, game management here. Pressure is not on, but he will look to try and keep the pressure on him so he doesn't throw darts like that. Good correction. And does find an 81. Looks like the first dart is outside, and indeed it is. So 199. Again, Berto, this is pretty mentally tough. This game is so hard when you find yourself in situations like this. The only thing that Berto can do is continue to try and find big triple-digit scores and hope that Joe struggles in the back stretch of this leg. 199 remaining, 179 remaining. Can't quite find the triple. Might choose to go downstairs. Looks like he is going down. Finds that big trip 19 for a 97. So again, that is a solid correction. 102. A little bit of a tricky leave with 102, but we'll have plenty of time to solve that equation after Berto is done with this round. Again, no pressure. Berto's still pretty far back here, so he will have to rely on at least 6 misses, 6 drop darts from Joe Ricard, working at 102. First dart found. Trip 14. Tried to go bullseye for double 16, but can't quite get it. Still a great correction, though. 62 will leave himself his tried and true 40. Berto looking to just try and keep him straight. Needs a ton 40, won't go. Does find the big triple there, but again, not down to an out, I don't think. Indeed so. So Joe Ricard, plenty of time. How long is it going to take? Down to double 10. Going up to double 5. It looks like that third dart is in. So the first set, Joe Ricard battling with Berto, but holding his throw 3 times in a row. And well, if that's the way it's going to go, it's going to go in the way of Joe Ricard every single time. If he leads off first, Berto, again, held his throw 2 times, but needed to find that critical break and couldn't quite get it done. Now leading off here with a 45. For everybody who's not familiar with the terminology, if you are holding your throw, that means you are going first. And if you throw first in a leg of darts, you should get down to an out first, which means that you should have a crack at checking out first. And that's such a humongous advantage for these guys where every single throw can be big, can be so critical. So having that first look, such a major advantage. Great correction there from Berto to try and salvage that visit. Finds the 70. So again, if you try and break someone's throw, it means that they went first and you were able to get out first. So breaking the rhythm of the game, trying to pull the rhythm of the greater sets and legs game being played into your advantage. So difficult to do when these guys are firing the way that they are. Joe Ricard, 76.16. Superb average to get things going here at the Worcester Premier League. Week 4 of Season 3. Great ton there from Berto Santos. Todd in the chat saying he loves the shirt. And shoot well, everybody. Again, Todd, thank you for being a sponsor. Tee Up Tap Room is absolutely One of the best places to play darts in the greater Worcester area. And if you have not been there, guys, it's getting cold. Winter is coming. Look at this weather that we've been dealing with all day today. So miserable, but the heaters are always on at tee up. The green is always ready for you, so you can go golfing, plenty of dartboards, great food, great drinks. So again, thank you, Todd, for your support this season. It means the world to us. As we get back to the game here, Joe well behind, all the way at 300 points. So struggling with the scoring prowess that we have seen come so reliably for Joe Ricard. Berto, 186, so wanting to get into outshot territory. Again, that errant second dart has just been pestering Berto tonight. He's found such a solid line with that first dart, but this second dart just not understanding the memo, the instructions. And that's usually how this game goes. All of us playing darts every single day or every single week. Sometimes you feels the same, it feels good, and it just goes completely wrong. And there's nothing that we can really do to try and solve it. It just happens. So Berto, a tricky 102 here. First start at 20. Correction down to trip 14 is the recommended way. Won't go. We'll probably, well, now he leaves himself 62, so finds the big trip to leave himself 32. So rather risky way to go if you were to ask some of the other players in the area. How would you handle 102? But still finds double 16 leaves, so great stuff, great setup. Joe not really finding it this leg. Holding on to his dart here, not sure which way he wants to go. A little bit of math questions. We'll try and find the route. Finds that big 17, but Berto working with double 16 and a 70 average here. Finding his double first go would be great for his confidence. 2 darts needed, 3 darts. Can he find it? He does find it on that third dart, so a great take from Berto, holding his throw. Both guys, really tight battle here. Not letting anybody have an inch, no breaks in this entire game, so both guys playing exceptionally well. Joe struggled with his scoring last leg, but it looks to be flowing again for him here, leading off with that big ton. Berto looking to immediately answer back here. Might be 2 in there. Oh, I'm not sure what that score is. Only a 95, my goodness. All those flights were just blocking the view of the entire bed. Joe not able to find anything reasonable again, but all these guys, oh, he does find the big ton, excuse me. These flights are making it so difficult to see what these guys are scoring. Berto looks like he pushes out into the 5, trying to find the correction, only he's able to find 45, I believe. Indeed so. Joe looking to take this advantage and build upon it. 60 points up, wants some more. Not able to find the trip 20 segment, but 60 will do nicely here. Berto, a lot of pressure, needs a ton or a ton plus. Try and keep pace here in that second dart again. Not working out here for Berto Santos. The darts, again, they are new for Berto. He is rocking a new set and has rocked new darts for 2 weeks in a row here. Still playing a great game here, but Joe, no changes made with the gear. The consistency is there, and he is down to an out first, sitting at 141. Berto not flowing here. It's just not working out, only finding 24, so more or less resigning to his fate in this leg. Going downstairs, can't quite find the big trip 19. 79 scored here, looking to build off of that. But again, Berto all the way back at 282, so no pressure. Joe more or less can do whatever he wants in this situation. And again, maybe another math error there from Joe Ricard, 42 left. We'll have to waste another dart, but Berto doing very well to find that 81. But hey, you know, it's kind of tough because there's no pressure. 42 left. There's no pressure to try and leave yourself something immediate. You can waste this dart, but you'd rather have 3 looks at it. We can only have one more shot at this round. And again, double 16, not so friendly for Joe Ricard. Double 20 has almost been effortless the entire season. Double 16 still posing questions here for Joe. And Berto trying to get in within outshot range. Can't quite leave himself something easy. Only 156, but Joe double 8 needed. Going across the board here to double 4. Going down to double 2. Not the Madhouse Joe. Surely pulls it well outside, so he won't be stuck on double 1. But Berto, outside shot here, 156. This would be critical. Fortunately, won't go. So Berto's at, I guess, in danger of being broken. But now relying on Joe to try and struggle as he grounds the houses, wants double 2. Might be a tough one to get around. The way that Joe throws here, serving as a blocker. And again, 3 darts thrown. No doubles found. Berto, 116. Easier way to go, but the 1 is just a knife in the back. No way to go on 115 with 2 darts remaining. Does find the big triple, so we'll look to try and find a 15. Does find it. Joe will only have himself to blame if he cannot find this double 2 or subsequent double 1. Needs to go here. Can he find it? Inside again. Tough block. Goes high, so the madhouse for Joe Ricard. Surely. And he's gone high. So Berto, from well behind, all of a sudden a chance to hold. Goes across to double 10. Going up to double 5. And he pulls it with the excitement. Can't quite find it, so nerves abound from both guys. But can Joe find the madhouse double 1? Needs to bring it down. Little lower. Oh, stays there, so Berto couldn't even look. Turns around and finds that he's still alive. Double 1. And Berto shows him how it's done, man. Oh, my goodness. Finds the trip 1 to leave himself 2, and he takes it out. Wow. Berto showing Joe how it's done. My goodness.
Looking for your next night out in Worcester? Tee Up Tap Room is the place to be. With 5 golf simulator bays, more than 20 dartboards, a full bar and kitchen, and leagues for both golf and darts running year-round, Tee Up is the go-to spot for competition and community. Swing by Tee Up Tap Room at 70 James Street in Worcester and see why it's the city's home for golf, darts, and good times.
Why get stuck when you can just get out in a jiffy? Berto showing some more love to that 1 segment. Again, maybe a little nerves, maybe a little adrenaline rushing through the body, but needs to settle down. Leading off in this leg here with a 7. Not the visit that he would have wanted after stealing that leg away from Joe Ricard. That leg was a tough one for both guys. That was certainly the case. But, again, in wise words of the Emperor, if you can't win ugly, you don't deserve to win at all. And sometimes it just comes down to just finding that double, no matter what it takes. Berto needs to try and settle in and find some comfort in his throw here. Take a breath, take some time. Get back to the scoring that he was able to rely on and really push Joe here, because, again, he doesn't want to have to be coming back from so far away every single time. That's not a recipe for success. Berto all over it so far. Can't quite put it in. And unfortunately, that 3rd dart just high. So another slow start here for Berto. Playing for the set, but the way that Joe has been playing, you feel that the advantage is still in Joe's favor. Finding that big ton, marching his way down the board. Berto has the game. He has it in him. We're starting to see the focus come back here, but again, as soon as I say that, the caster curse strikes again. Slipping into that 1 segment. I'm so sorry, Berto. And Joe looking to just build off of this momentum. The great guide choosing to go downstairs and finding that trip 19 again, 97. The switches have been plentiful here for Joe Ricard, and they have been working. Berto Santos Again, 2 darts just around it. Can he find the middle? And he pushes out into the 5 again. So second and third dart needs to try and find that consistency. Will make his life so much easier. And no way home from 162, but it's not being pushed here. Still plenty of time in the big 140 to leave 22. We'll see if he corrects or goes straight at it. Berto marooned on 326. Not able to find anything worthwhile, so small bites here. Joe, double 11. Corrects to double 10. Struggling on the outer ring when it's not double 20, but he does find the double 10 on the third. The look there from Berto says it all. Not the best display, but this set is not over yet. Berto gets broken, finds the break with Joe and that crazy leg, but needs to try and either break again or hold. Doesn't want to push it to another forced hold of throw. That would be a set decider. And Joe getting things going with heavy scoring. Berto not able to find the correction. Again, the first dart may be acting as a blocker. Sometimes when you have that flight in the way and you can't quite see the segment, messes with the throw, messes with the confidence. And Joe just looking to build, and he can't. So a reprieve here for Berto. Needs to capitalize now, you feel. Finds the trip 20, wants another one. The ton will do. That's manageable. That's workable. But the advantage is still in Joe's hands if he can find at least 60. Finds a 60 there. Finds 2. And he just misses the big 180. 1, 2, 3 to push himself closer. Berto forced to respond heavy. Finds the trip 19. Fortunately, can't quite grab another one, but the response is working on something good there. Joe, advantage in hand. 2:12 remaining. Does not want to try and slow down. And again, that switch down to the 19s has been so reliable tonight. Week 4, not something that we've seen in the previous weeks from Joe. Berto needs at least a ton here to try and keep some pressure on. Does find the ton. Again, no out from 190, but if Joe is sloppy on his outs, maybe a chance. Might be a tough block again there for shake of the head from Joe Ricard. Doesn't like what he sees. Tries to go around it. Does find that trip 18 there on that third dart. Such a critical dart. 94 punched in. Again, no out for Berto. Joe with 36 remaining. Berto can only try and keep it straight and hope. Does find the back-to-back tons. But now, again, relying on mistakes. Joe Ricard. How's his double 18? How do you feel, Joe? Second dart's just wide. And the third dart's inside, so double trouble. And Berto, an outside shot at the 90. Can he get it done? Pulls it in for 89 remaining. Has to go down to trip 19. Pulls it high, so leaving himself 70. And more or less a throwaway dart there from Berto. Frustration coming out. Joe working with 18. We'll see if he can find it straight at the 9. Does find the double 9, so forcing the final leg set decider here. Joe Ricard battling back from a 2-0 deficit to now play for the set. And Berto looking to hold on and keep this going for a potential final set. Finds the big ton to lead off. Great darts there from Berto Santos. Again, confidence, mental strength, everything in these types of moments, these types of games where it's just been back and forth. Joe mistakes, not able to find the red segment. So Berto has the slight advantage here, but needs to keep these darts steady. Does find the big trip, so salvaging that round, leading off with an 85 to follow that big ton. Joe has to respond in kind, and he will find the first part. Would love a 140 here. Going downstairs to trip 19 and can't quite grab it. Not off by much. Berto still slightly ahead, wants to push the ball ever further away. Looks like he might have pushed it outside. Does find the big ton, so blocker there, but gets through. And Joe trying to leapfrog. 2 in there. Can he find it? Big 180 right when he needs it for Joe Ricard. Solid darts. No out, though, but may have rattled the cage here of Berto Santos. Looking for that trip 20. Can't grab it, so no out from 162. Berto finding the 43. No out either. Joe Ricard trying to leave himself handy. He was probably going to stay there. Going to battle through those flights. And, oh, looks like he goes to 18 instead. Just barely holds on to that 18 segment. Berto, 173. Needs a triple. Trying to salvage the round now. Can't grab it, so 45. Again, falling apart at the end. But 104 for Joe Ricard. Which way is he going to go? Goes and finds 48 first. Finds for tops. Oh, just low.
Looking for a way to support the Worcester Premier League directly? Check out our coffee page. Every dollar donated goes right back into the league, helping us cover operations and build a bigger prize pool for the players. Your support makes it possible for us to keep the WPL growing season after season. Once again, your donation helps us keep the competition thriving and the darts flying. Visit our page at coffee.com/WPL darts to make a contribution today.